Top 5 courses in finance which are stock market related courses. Amazing opportunities to build a career. So backed by popular demand, people have asked us that what are the courses that we any which ways keep harping about, but what are the courses that who is tired of just being in the same place either academically or professionally, delaying or procrastinating what to do in life for so long, what is it that they can do for 2023 in the field of finance and accounts? So in this, I'm going to talk about this video in two parts. Part 1, all the courses that you can and should do in the field of finance. Part 2, all the courses that you can and should do in the field of accounts. For a lot of y'all who don't understand the difference between finance and accounts, again, first of all, we made videos on that. But in short, finance is about money, how to acquire money, how to manage money, how to deploy money. Everything in this field is to do with finance. Accounting is how to keep track, because while accounting might sound less fancy than finance, it's as important. You can't have one without the other. So if you don't know the difference, this is it, right? One is management and the other is recording and transacting. If you don't care about the difference, then options like chartered accountancy, which applies to everybody in India, is always open. In this part 1, part 2, I'm not going to talk about CA because I've spoken a lot about the value of chartered accountancy. In this, I'm going to talk more about immediate tangible courses you can pick up and start, some which of course we specialize in, some which I know have a lot of demand in the market. So with that, part 1, top 5 courses in finance that you should pursue in 2023. Number 1 is, these are short-term courses which I would suggest, which are stock market related courses. Whether you take it from Bombay Stock Exchange, has decent short-term courses you can take and at least go from 0 to 1 in terms of understanding on a scale of 0 to 10. Equity trading courses could be understanding basics of what is equity, what is the market, what is fundamental analysis, technical analysis. A lot of people feel that they are very good at, this is the best course to take because trading in the stock market, we always hear about the Warren Buffett and the Rakesh Jhunjhunwalas who have immense wealth by sitting in their office and making calls of this stock will go up, this stock will go down, and looking at the stock markets. That is something which is very attractive. Some people really get into it because of a quick way to get rich. And you will have heard stories of people who make a few thousand, tens of thousands of rupees in a day, sometimes even lakhs of rupees in good times. And you sort of gravitate towards getting into the stock market. You'll end up putting money, your dad's money, your family's money into it. And worst, if you borrow money from somebody and you don't know how the markets work, you go on tips, you go on past historic performances, and you don't understand basically what to do. So taking equity courses, especially from certifications like the Bombay Stock Exchange, would be my number 1 recommendation. Number 2 is the NISM and the NCFM courses, right? Which are by SEBI and by NSE respectively. So these courses are important whether you want to become a broker, whether you want to just understand the basics of, again, finance, the basics of Indian markets, whether you want to enter into the field of, again, the securities market. Right? Securities, by the way, is not only stocks, or as we call it, not only the equity market. It includes debt market, commodity market, forex market. It's a vast enough field that if you're interested in, people can make careers in. So I would say that this is it's similar to the first point, but the first point is very niche in equity. This is more into securities, more into the overall financial markets. And we in the news hear much more about equity markets. It's unfortunate, while there is an immense amount of wealth to be made there is a lot of value in getting into the slightly boring, what people consider boring. It's not really boring, but people consider debt or commodities a little boring. These are amazing opportunities to build, again, careers in if you understand it, right? In both equity and other financial market components, there are deeper instruments that you can work with, such as derivatives, which, or even for that matter, even if outside, even with the basics, you can get into trading, you can get into long-term investing. There's no right or wrong. There is only risk in you taking any step without knowing the basics, without knowing the fundamentals. So both of these should get you that 0 to 1, like I was mentioning, and then based on that you figure out what works for you and what doesn't. Option number 3, investment banking. I don't know if everybody knows what investment banking is. It's a very fancy term. Many people somehow just get attracted to the name of it. Definitely a money-making profile. People who are extremely wealthy are investment bankers. It's a lot of fun if you are good at it, just like anything else. But investment banking doesn't just require to learn finance. It requires you to learn finance, but it also is a major part when it comes to networking, when it comes to having relationships with a lot of influential people, when it comes to helping a lot before asking for anything. There are just a multiple amount of other than finance skill sets which investment bankers require. And if you're good at it, it's superbly profit making. I have in fact, one of my very who I consider my mentor. He's founded a company called Imarticus since 10 years. Many of you all must have known about it. They are one of the most popular courses in the field of investment banking. If you all would like to check it out, but I think investment banking is something which a lot of you guys can and should do. Point number 4 is again one of our courses, CFA. CFA is the number one course in the field of finance and investment management in the world. It's a US based qualification. There used to be a CFA from India which is now shut down. I've made millions, I don't know, not millions, I've made hundreds of videos on CFA for you guys to check it out. So, long story short, CFA is probably the most well recognized course in finance in the world. There are 3 levels, and you can even just do level 1 to get the ball rolling. You might not necessarily finish level 2 and level 3. And level 1 is just a matter of 6 months. And if you're a quick learner, maybe even lesser than that. Give the exams, earn something that is worth entering the market with a certificate of, and start building. It covers a lot of the things I've mentioned in the first 2 points, and even a little bit of, in fact, I know a lot of investment bankers who start their journey as CFAs. So CFA is all ever popular. And finally, point number 5, FRM, financial risk management. I think of it as a subset of CFA. It's of course all to do with finance, but it's financial risk management. You've got to love it. There is a huge enough market again for people who, like, I'll tell you, if you want to work in the field of finance, you will need risk managers. It's a non-negotiable. But if you like it and you specialize in it, right? For that, I would suggest you dip your toe in it. Take a few basic YouTube videos. You can search after this. Again, I have also made a video on FRM, but for you guys to take a little bit of an understanding of what is taught in FRM, it's quite simple. It's only 2 levels, so it's not very deep. But if you like a little bit of it, it's easy. In 1 year, you can have a FRM certification, US based, recognized in India. And maybe after that, do CFA. FRM is also amazing for a lot of you all who just want to get into the field of finance. So with that, guys, I think these are 5 kind of different courses in the field of finance that you can take. Some of them are traditional, some of them are relatively new, but find what works for you. If you're still confused, anytime reach out to us and hopefully we'll help you along the way. If there's anything I've missed, leave it in the comments and do subscribe.